Users frequently encounter bugs in web applications, but don't report them because it's difficult to write down reproduction steps. A program's inputs are often difficult to enumerate. For example, this video game's behavior is determined by user input, random numbers, and social media API queries. Timelapse is an integrated debugging tool that can precisely capture and reproduce entire program executions. To record, a user opens the Timelapse store and starts and stops recording by clicking a button. Instead of writing reproduction steps, users can record an execution while they demonstrate interactive behaviors of interest. Recordings can be saved to or loaded from file and shared by email or bug tracking software. Recordings can be replayed on demand using Timelapse's navigation affordances. Timelapse visualizes program inputs over time using several linked views that provide different levels of detail. An overview shows the entire recording and its inputs using a stacked line graph. Each input category is visualized with a heat map timeline. Users can adjust the displayed interval by adjusting zoom settings with link sliders or by scrolling horizontally and vertically. Each circle can be inspected to reveal the inputs it represents. Lower-level recording details are also available. The current replay position can be changed by dragging the red slider in any view, or by double-clicking an input circle. In this game, the player should only have one bullet on the screen at a time, but a glitch allows multiple bullets. This is hard to debug without timelapse because the developer must play the game while setting breakpoints and reasoning about the program's behavior. With timelapse, the developer reproduces the behavior once, and can then seek through the recording to isolate the buggy behavior to specific inputs. Breakpoints and other debugging tools are usable while replaying a recording. A developer can experiment with breakpoint placement without having to reproduce behavior or worry about losing execution state. Breakpoints can be set when execution is paused. When it continues, the debugger will pause normally. Once the developer has isolated the bug using timelapse, they can use existing tools to debug and fix the failure. Debugging aids can be built on top of timelapse to address navigation and information needs during debugging. Debugger bookmarks allow developers to set bookmarks at important points of the execution and later jump back to them. Bookmarks can be used to save and restore to inputs, breakpoints, or sequences of debugger commands. Breakpoint radar is a feature that automatically finds and visualizes all breakpoint hits over the entire execution. Developers can preview the scope of their breakpoints or jump to any occurrence without manually stepping through all the hits. We have presented Timelapse, a tool for quickly recording, reproducing, and debugging interactive behaviors in web applications.